you are into gaming and gaming news, you've come to the right place. Who am I, you ask? I am the Wiz! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gaming News Roundup for June 21st, 2023. I'm going to cover all the stories that happened from the 17th to the 21st. You are probably asking, yo, Wiz, what happened on Monday? What happened? Well, two things. One, it was a federal holiday, and I still posted a Thinning the Backlog on the Battlefield Chronicles, so you can check that out for Monday. But to be honest, if there were more news, I would have done it, but there really wasn't. And all I had was the new releases, and I felt that that's kind of thin for an episode. So I decided to hold that back until today. And I think I'm glad I did, because we have a stacked podcast today for the Gaming News Roundup. We have gaming news, my thoughts on the Nintendo Direct that was announced Tuesday that came out today, and new releases, so let's not hang around too much. And we will get started with some quick words about the Battlefield Chronicle. I played a little bit more since I did the thing, the backlog segment, and if I'm being honest, the more and more I play, the more and more I'm struggling to find time to do it without me saying, oh, well, this is for the podcast, so I have to. I think it's going to be likely that the next segment on Thursday will be the last one. I'm going to put it back on the shelf. The game's fine. I don't see anything wrong with it gameplay-wise. It's good in that end. I'm just having a hard time with the systems. Not like a hard time. I'm just not enjoying the way the systems are working when it comes to leveling up your characters, customizing, things like that. And the amount of grinding that you have to do is fairly ridiculous in this game. Now, some of you might play it and go, I didn't have to grind that much at all. And I would say, okay, that's cool, but a part of me, the way that plays these strategy RPGs, is if something becomes available, I kind of want that. And if I can grind, I will likely to. But in this game, I feel like I have to in order to get a better advantage in some story elements. So because of that, the battles aren't too long. They're like 5 to 10 minutes, which is fine. But they're engaging enough, but not enough for me to really hang on to it. I think I'll play a little more of it today, and then I will probably call it on Thursday and put it back on my shelf in this one. And then what I do basically is, it's back on the shelf. I am going to stop playing it for a while, and I might come back to it at a later point. That's kind of where I am feeling with this game. So I'll talk more about that on the Thinning the Backlog on Thursday. So we'll get past that right now. Why don't we get to the news, and let's get started with the first story that came out these past few days. And that is that Microsoft is raising the price of Game Pass and Xbox Series X consoles. Starting on July 6th, Game Pass will change prices, with the base pass going from $9.99 to $10.99 US per month. Game Pass Ultimate will rise from $14.99 to $16.99 per month US dollars. No changes happening on the PC Game Pass, and the Xbox Series X will also raise in price in all regions except the US, Chile, Japan, Colombia, and Brazil. Basically, the places that it's selling, they're not raising the price. You may remember that prices rose last year for hardware for PlayStation 5 and the Meta Quest 2. PlayStation 5 started selling a bundle of Horizon Forbidden West for $550 US dollars, while they discontinued the non-bundled console. MetaQuest 2 rose its price by $100, while the announcement of the MetaQuest 3 proceeded with a price drop of the Quest 2 to its former price. Game Pass raising its price is something me and Zero have constantly talked about in the past year, that it was going to happen. So I think we thought they would raise prices when they were having a more steady footing. All hardware makers are raising prices, and eventually Microsoft was going to do the same. It's just weird that they are doing it when they clearly need more market share. You think they wouldn't do this when so many more want PlayStation 5s. But it's hard not to shake the feeling that this price is more of a move of desperation than anything else. Alright, next story. Roblox is starting to allow content with 17+ ratings, which has elements of heavy realistic blood, intense violence, romantic themes, unplayable gambling content, and the presence of alcohol and moderate crude humor. I have no idea what moderate crude humor is, but okay, we'll go with that. These changes are due to the demographic shift of Roblox players. According to a blog post on the official Roblox blog, the fastest growing age group on Roblox is 17 to 24-year-olds, and in 2022, 38% of our daily active users were 17 and over. As a natural evolution, we're now allowing creators to make content specifically for that audience. Though it makes sense that a platform that Roblox has in content creation to cater to a larger demographic that grew out of its current style and content, it's going to be interesting how they will differentiate that mature content and make sure that kids under the age of 17 will not be able to access it. I'm not familiar enough with Roblox other than it's one of the biggest money-making games in the world right now, so I'm not sure what the parental control systems are like. One can hope it's robust enough to keep kids away from some of that content. We will see, but I wouldn't be surprised to find that there's a controversy that happens when parents find objectionable material that they didn't want their kids to see. Next story, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot says it should have listened to Nintendo and waited to publish Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope until the new Nintendo console came. While I do agree with the sentiment, I think Guillemot is missing the bigger point here. He says that Nintendo told him that the game isn't different enough to warrant a sequel so soon, so it should have spaced out its release to the next generation. But this sounds more like Nintendo knew that Mario & Rabbids' success was more due to the fact that it was on the launch window of the Switch more than anything else. Still, however you shake it, Nintendo was correct and Ubisoft should have waited. While it did review incredibly well, rapid price drops indicate that the game didn't perform very well in sales. Go through this next one quickly. Immortals of AVM has been delayed 1 month by EA. In a statement, they said that it was to polish the game. I'm not sure exactly what they can polish in a month, but hey, it's something I wish more studios would do. Square Enix staff has been asking heads of its studios to be able to remake Final Fantasy VI. Before Final Fantasy VII became a gaming phenomenon, and to people of a certain age like myself, Final Fantasy VI was considered not only the best Final Fantasy game, but also the best JRPG ever made. Although part of me would be curious about how they would do a remake, I wonder what would have to change for it to be marketable for an audience that clearly doesn't covet traditional RPGs like we used to in the 90s. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they either turn it into another genre entirely, or outright say no to the idea. Okay, so the Nintendo Direct happened today. It's Wednesday, June 21st. It happened around 10 a.m., I think, and I checked it out. So let me tell you what I thought were the good, the things I wasn't sure of, the things I don't care about, and the bad. No bad on this, which kind of surprised me. So let's get in with the good. More Persona 5 Tactica. I can't wait for that game. I want to try that out. It's coming out in November. The announcement of the Super Mario RPG remake that is coming on November 17th. It looks good. It looks like a polished version of the Super NES game. I wonder if they're going to make any other changes, so we will probably see if they will in September, but I am definitely interested. Gloomhaven coming to consoles in September 18th. Gloomhaven is really good. I have it on PC, but it is dense as hell. So if you're into these types of games that are like strategy games that are really in-depth, I would definitely check it out. But be prepared to spend a lot of time learning the game. Silent Hope, which is coming out October 3rd. It's a roguelike action RPG. It looked interesting. I would like to know more about it, and I really hope it's at a decent price. This better not be a $60 price game. But I'm definitely curious to see how that turns out. Here's one that I was really excited about. A new Dragon Quest Monsters game called The Dark Prince, coming December 1st. Man, I am so happy they are doing more Dragon Quest spin-offs, because they end up doing pretty good. I thought Heroes was great, and then Treasures was pretty fun, but Monsters was something that my first experience with anything Dragon Quest was Dragon Quest Monsters on the GBA, and on the Game Boy specifically. And it was mainly because I got into Pokemon, and when a new Pokemon-style game came out that was actually pretty good, I picked it up, and I got really into Dragon Quest Monsters in its world. So I am looking forward to seeing how this turns out. That comes out on December 1st. They showed more of Pikmin 4 that's coming out July 21st. I am really happy with where that's going. I can't wait to play that. They also announced, available today, ports of Pikmin 1 and 2 are coming to the digital eShop, and I think there is a physical edition coming soon. I don't know the price of it just yet, but yay, I will definitely pick that up. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 is coming on October 24th. They showed more of that on there. We already knew that was coming. Here's a good announcement. Vampire Survivors coming August 17th. If you have no way of playing Vampire Survivors and you have a Switch, buy it right away. It is a fun game. I think it's $5. Some of the DLC is $2. Buy it all. It's a lot of fun. It looks simplistic, but it really is a ton of fun to play. Penny's Big Breakaway coming in 2024. I like 3D platformers, and this really stuck out as something that I'm interested in. It's kind of sad it's coming in 2024, but I will definitely look forward to it. Hopefully it's a good price. The remake of Star Ocean, the second story R, coming in November 2nd. There's been a lot of talk that since the first Departure R, did not do very well, this was likely not coming to the States, but I'm really glad it is, and it looks pretty good. I have the original one on the PS1, and I was going to probably check it out another time, but I might just pick up this just to play it on a new system. I think that's also coming to PS5, so look forward to that when it comes out in November 2nd. And the big announcement, which is the final announcement, which I think is a great announcement from the Nintendo Direct, is Super Mario Bros. Wonder, coming October 10th. Looks like a trippier new Super Mario Bros., and I kind of dig it. It looks pretty cool. I like the classic 2D Marios, and I really like the new Super Mario Bros. Ones until, I would say, the Wii U version. I wasn't really much of a fan. So I hope they differentiate this enough to make it, or to maybe feel and play a lot differently than the others. If this just ends up being like another new Super Mario Bros., I'll be kind of disappointed. But that's coming October 10th. I will be looking forward to that. The ones that I don't know, or I can't really tell. Palia looks like it's a 3D Stardew Valley game that is free to play. I could see how that would actually be successful, but the art style doesn't really fit very well, I think, and I don't know if there is enough of an audience that will play it free to play, especially if they don't update it frequently. So that's a we'll see on that. Myth Force, you know, the only thing that differentiates Myth Force to other roguelike RPGs is the cartoonish art style. And they really put on thick that it looked like Saturday morning cartoons, so that didn't really interest me very well. But if that reviews well, we'll see. Coming in October, Detective Pikachu Returns. I gotta admit, it looks kind of funny, but I'm not really into these detective games so much, so again, if reviews turn out to be better, I might check it out. A new Princess Peach game was just announced. No release date, no real details on it. I liked Super Princess Peach on the DS. I am interested to see where they'll go with this one, but I want a lot more information. They just showed maybe like 15 to 20 seconds worth of footage, and it looks fine, but I don't really know. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon Remaster or Port coming to the Switch. No release date. Again, this had about 15 seconds worth of footage on it. I like Dark Moon on the DS. It was fun. I am curious to see what they'll do different, or if they're just porting this, but I'm all for that. I'm all for them porting things from the DS onto here. If I can make a suggestion, this is a 3DS, I should say. If I can make a suggestion to the people at Nintendo, port over Ever Oasis. I think that would actually get a lot of people interested in it. And they showed more information on Fae Farm coming in September 8th. I'm not so sure about this game. It's also $60, and I think it's a little pricey for the style of game, when something like Stardew Valley or Rune Factory can go for like 30 and 40 bucks. I think that's a little pricey for a game like this. Hopefully there's more depth in it that can justify it, but I don't know. I'm a little miffed on that one. And finally, don't care, or I'm indifferent. The first announcement they showed was more information on the DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is coming in the fall of 2023 and winter of 2024, called The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. look, if the game is still broken, I am not interested in playing it, so I'm not interested in getting the DLC. So when we hear more about that, we'll see how that turns out. Sonic Superstars was also shown off. I was kind of meh when it was shown off on I think it was the Summer Games Fest, so I'm not interested in that either. Batman Arkham Trilogy for fall 2023. I know a lot of people are fans of those games, and they would probably like to play that on the go. I would really like to see how they port that over. Like, I already have them all on PC, so I'm good. I don't need it on the Switch, but it would be interesting to see if the port turns out okay. That's what I want, especially Arkham Knight, because Arkham Knight is a very detailed game. Just Dance 2024 coming in October, okay. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged coming October 19th. I know a lot of people seem to be a fan of the first one. I kind of fell off it pretty quick. I wonder what different things they will do in that game, but we'll see. Manic Mechanics coming on July 13th. Overcooked style games, whatever flavor they are, I'm kind of not interested in those types of games. It looks neat if you're into it. I'm more of an alone player. So if you're into that type of game, you might want to look forward to it. Headbangers Rhythm Royale. I'm not into rhythm games, really. I'm really not. It looks cute, but not for me. And WarioWare Move It coming November 3rd. Look, leave the Wii stuff with the Wii. I don't like doing that stuff anymore. If I'm playing a game, I'm sitting down, chilling out. I'm not really moving around. I know it sounds lazy, but it's just the way I am. I thought this was a solid Direct. I think they had a lot of good announcements, a lot of interesting things to really get into. I am definitely looking forward to the Super Mario RPG remake, and I'm really interested in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. There's some other third-party things that are interesting too. I'm already getting Pikmin 4. I've already pre-ordered that. I'm interested to see what the price of Star Ocean: The Second Story R is. So, good Direct. I would like to know more information on other things, but we will see when that happens. But good Direct overall from Nintendo. I will look forward to what they have in September. Before I get to the next part, some updates. They showed some DLC for Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and they showed some more DLC that's coming from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, just to inform you guys. Alright, so let's get into the new releases that are happening this week. Since this was done today on Wednesday, some of the stuff has already come out, so if there are reviews already for the new games, I will talk about that, how they fared on OpenCritic. Otherwise, if they're ports or re-releases, I'm not really going to bother. So let's get started with the ports. First off is Rogue Legacy 2 coming on PS4 and PS5 on June 20th. That was yesterday. Great game. I play this on PC all the time. I think it's on Xbox. It's a really good game. I really enjoyed 1, but 2 is 1 but better, which is exactly what you want. Solstice is coming to PS4 June 20th, which was yesterday. I don't know much about this. I know it's on PC. I think it's also on Xbox. So, yeah, I'm probably not the best messenger for it. This released a couple of weeks ago, but it's coming to Xbox Series X and PS5. It's Harmony: The Fall of Reverie, coming June 22nd, which is Thursday. This reviewed okay, and it seems that people who are interested in the style of game really like it, so if you're into that, check it out. Re-releases and remasters, I just talked about how Pikmin 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch today, so check that out. And then Sonic Origins Plus is coming to all systems on January 23rd. Basically, it's Sonic Origins, but I think they're adding Game Gear stuff. But, if you're a Sonic fan, have fun. And then here are the new releases that are coming out this week. This came out yesterday on June 20th. That is Aliens Dark Descent on all systems except Switch. It got an OpenCritic strong rating of 77, with 68% of critics recommending. Critics say that the dialogue and story is pretty bad, but the actual tactical gameplay is actually pretty well done. So if you're into tactical RTSs, this might be for you. Crash Team Rumble came out on PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X yesterday on June 20th. OpenCritic has a rating of a fair 74, with 60% of critics recommending. That's better than I thought it was going to be, actually. Critics say it's fun, but the premium and season pass models feel kind of out of place for this kind of game. If I recall correctly, it's kind of a MOBA-ish game, I think. I don't know. Honestly, I kind of wasn't interested in it, but if it turns into a free-to-play game, I might check it out. Dr. Fetus's Mean Bean Machine, coming to all systems on June 22nd. That is Thursday. It's a puzzle game based on Super Meat Boy, and all I've heard is that it's incredibly hard. So if you're into that sort of thing, go right ahead and check it out. And finally, the big release that happens this week, which is coming Thursday on June 22nd, which is Final Fantasy XVI, exclusively on PS5. The critics think it's outstanding. OpenCritic has it at a mighty 90, with 94% of critics recommending. Critics claim that the gamble to a different type of genre, which is a character action game, really worked, and its story and characters are actually pretty compelling, which is a marked improvement from 15. A lot of critics didn't like 15 so much, and a lot of gamers didn't really either. So I am really looking forward to this. I am not picking it up because I already got Street Fighter VI and Diablo 4 this month. So I am not picking this up, but I will definitely wait for a sale on it. And I won't wait too long, because I would really be interested in seeing how that turns out. That is it for this episode of I Am the Wiz. Thursday, I will do another thing in the backlog with Battlefield Chronicle. Will it be the final one? We'll see. Friday is another gaming news roundup. Saturday, Kim and I will review Gattaca, starring Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman, and Jude Law. And Sunday, another Sunday matinee. But until then, I am the Wiz, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.